An area that trips students up oftentimes in practice, on the bar exam, and in law school is the difference in criminal law between specific intent and general intent. First, why is it important? Well, if you're a criminal defendant, it's very important. If you're a defense attorney, it's very important. If you're a prosecutor, it's very important. If you're a judge or a juror, it's very important. Why? Because it's the difference between guilt and innocence. Because it's an element of a crime. See, if you're charged with a crime that requires a specific intent, like robbery, for instance, robbery is with assault or with a force or threat of force or with a battery, right? Some action, and I'm using a fist here for a reason, to gain someone's possession, that is robbery. So I am taking and carrying away of the personal property of another with the intent to permanently deprive, and I'm using some show of force to get it. That's a robbery. That requires the specific intent. If there's no specific intent, an element needed can't be proven. And no matter how good the other elements are satisfied or how well satisfied the other elements are, the prosecution can't win if they can't show specific intent. The flip side then is the defense wants to what? Say that the specific intent required was not made. Yes, all the other elements were there, but you need to have specific intent, and you don't have it, you can't show it, therefore that should lead to an acquittal. And a judge or a jury following the law would have to do just that. Now, if you look at any commercial outline, you're going to see crimes that require specific intent. You're in cohates, right? Solicitation, conspiracy, attempt. They all require the specific intent. You can't not intend to conspire. You can't not intend an attempt. You have to specifically intend an attempt. You have to specifically seek out another person to agree to commit a crime with. So your inchoates require specific intent. Robbery, burglary, larceny, embezzlement, generally your theft crimes also would require specific intent. But remember, if you've seen some earlier segments, we talked about homicide, and many homicides don't require the specific intent to kill. Clearly, you need to have the intent to maybe pull the trigger, but not kill your intended victim, but you don't have to have the specific intent to kill. General intent would be satisfactory for guilt. So as you start to memorize your crimes, know which ones require a specific intent and which ones don't. It's going to help you look at the burden of proof and but what the prosecution needs to prove, therefore showing you what elements the defense would likely want to knock out. But then also it's going to help you with defenses as well, because we have a reasonable mistake of fact and we have an unreasonable mistake of fact. And they both would be good defenses to a specific intent crime, whereas a general intent crime, all you have is a reasonable mistake of fact. And a general intent crime, the defense of voluntary intoxication, that wouldn't be applicable, because again, voluntary intoxication may go to negate the specific intent, but if there's no specific intent requirement, then voluntary intoxication is a trap answer and is really a rabbit hole that you would go down talking about. We're only going to talk about voluntary intoxication as a possible defense if we're charged with a specific intent crime. So again, from not only what needs to be proven, but also what the applicable or available defenses are, the difference between what is specific intent and what is not specific intent is an important distinction. So as you're memorizing for law school or for bar exam purposes, your different crimes, start to note which ones require a specific intent, and then be ready to hold the prosecutor accountable for proving that specific intent.